So in this problem, we have two functions. F of x is 2x plus 1, and g of x is 3x take away 5. Our job is to find the output when f of x is first applied and then g of x. Now I wanted to get you to think about what's going on behind the scenes here. So if we go back to function machines. So we have one function machine, which we'll call f. Okay? And what that's doing is you have to put your input in first, of course. So we're putting our input in. So we'll call that x. So it goes into f, and what's happening is you are multiplying x by 2 and then adding 1. Okay? And your output is 2x plus 1. But then I'm going to put it into another function machine, which is called g, which is going to multiply the input by 3 and then subtract 5. And then I'm going to get my final output. And I want to know what that output is. Okay? And I'm going to put x through this. Now, it does get quite messy here, as you can see, because first of all, I'm putting x in, I'm going to multiply by 2, then I'm going to add 1, then I'm going to times by 3, then I'm going to subtract 5, and then work out what the output is. Now, with function notation, we can write this quite succinctly, because actually what's happening is that whatever the output is here, okay, so x goes through, and what I'm getting out of this, so imagine that I break this apart. I go, right, I'm going to take a look at what I get out first before I put it back in. Okay, so I take it out and I go, right, what does it look like? Well, actually now it looks like f of x. So I've put x in, and I take a look, it looks like f of x. And now I'm going to plug it back in to g. So f of x is going to go into function g. So the consequence of that is that f of x is going to go into g. So I'm going to get g of f of x. And this is what is referred to as a composite function. So a composite function is when you've got more than one function being applied at the same time. Now, the thing is that because composite functions you could theoretically have lots and lots and lots going on, the bracketing becomes quite confusing. So what we're going to do is we are going to ignore the outer bracket. We're just going to have that one inside, and we're going to write this as gf of x. So this and this mean the same thing. So you need to get the order right. Okay, so when you read gf of x, you always work from the right-hand side, and you go, right, I'm going to apply f first, and then I apply g. Because if I had reversed the process, so if I reverse the process now, and say, well, the first machine it's going to go into is g, which times by 3 and then subtracts 5. The output from that will be g of x. And then I'm going to put that into function f, which is timesing by 2 and adding 1. So g of x is going into f. So g of x is going into f. And so we can ignore that outer bracket and write that as fg of x. So here we've got fg of x, and here we've got gf of x. And the order goes do f first, then g. And in this case, do g first, then f. Okay? Now, you could also have ff of x, so do the function f twice, so you put it through function f first and then put it back through function f. Or you could have g of x, or you could have f of x, where you're putting the function x back into the function several times. Okay? And we do a little bit more of this at A level as well. So really, we should get around to answering the question, shouldn't we? Okay, so it is given that f of x is 2x plus 1 and g of x is 3x take away 5. Find the output when f of x is first applied and then g of x. So if f of x is going first and then g of x, it is written like this, gf of x. So what that means is that f is being put into g. So g of f of x. Now f of x is 2x plus 1. So I'm putting 2x plus 1 into g. Now we've seen this stuff before because we've evaluated functions algebraically. So we've changed up the algebra and plugged that in. So what's happening is that 2x plus 1 is replacing the x in 3x take away 5. So we can have 3 lots of x, which is being replaced with 2x plus 1, and then we're subtracting 5. So multiply through the bracket, 3 lots of 2x is 6x, 3 lots of 1 is 3, take away 5 is 2. Minus 2. So 3 times 1, take away 5 is minus 2. And so this is the output, 6x take away 2. Okay? So this is what a composite function is. And you need to think about that order. So remember, if you see gf of x, you want to do f, and then that's going into g. If it helps when you get there, okay, if you see that, put the bracket round, and that makes it clear that f of x is being substituted into g.